Do we agree that you must bathe every day the same way you always have? No, my friend, we do not. That thinking ages you faster than time ever could. In this video, you'll discover 10 unexpected truths about bathing after 70. And let me tell you, part 7 is the one most people skip, but no one should. Yes, we're going there. Because down there deserves devotion too. Not embarrassment, not silence, not soap that smells like a chemical garden. This part of your body is sacred, and it needs a different kind of love now. Stick with me, and you'll learn how to transform bathing into healing, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And if this feels helpful, help us reach our first 1,000 subscribers by liking and subscribing. You'll keep this channel flowing like warm water on tired shoulders. So take a breath, and let's begin. Welcome to Buddhist Wisdom for the Elderly. You belong here. Part 1. The Forgotten Power of Touch. How washing yourself can heal more than just skin. Let me ask you something tender. When was the last time someone touched you? Not out of duty, not to help you into a chair, not during a blood pressure check, but with presence, warmth, and care. Now, before we slide into melancholy, let me remind you, you still have hands, and more importantly, you still have you. Yes, darling, this chapter of life is full of unexpected shifts. We get less touch, our spouses may pass on, our kids get busy, even our pets start preferring the heating pad. Doctors wear gloves, strangers avoid hugs, and the world seems a little distant. But here's a radical truth. You can still receive loving touch by giving it to yourself. And believe it or not, one of the best places to do that is in the bath. Science says touch isn't optional. It's medicine. Your skin is more than a wrapper. It's a living antenna with over 5 million nerve endings. When you touch yourself with intention, even just a warm cloth over your arm, you activate a chain reaction in your nervous system. Cortisol drops, easing stress. Oxytocin rises, the same hormone released during hugs and hand-holding. Blood pressure lowers. Pain reduces. The immune system perks up and says, finally, some love around here. In other words, your body listens to how it's treated, and it responds accordingly. You don't need a massage therapist. You don't need a partner. You just need 2 hands, a warm cloth, and a little willingness to slow down. Too often, bathing becomes mechanical. We zip through it like we're racing against time, wiping and rinsing like we're detailing a rental car. But this isn't a rental. This is your soul's home. What if, just for one bath, you treated your own body the way you once bathed your baby? Gently, curiously, tenderly, with no rush. That's not vanity. That's devotion. There's a practice in Buddhist monastic life called body awareness meditation. And one of the places it shows up? Bathing. Monks are taught to wash mindfully, slowly, reverently, as if bathing the Buddha. Because the idea is, why should your foot be treated with any less compassion than your face? You don't scrub enlightenment into being. You uncover it, one mindful moment at a time. Next time you shower, take a breath. Feel your palm glide across your skin. Whisper a little thank you to your legs, your belly, your back. They've held you through storms and stumbles. They deserve more than a perfunctory rub. Touch is not just physical, it's energetic, spiritual, healing. Even science agrees now, touch can rewire your nervous system. And Buddhism adds, it can awaken your soul. So here's your invitation. Instead of rushing through the soap and rinse cycle like a contestant on a game show, treat your bath like a sacred reunion. A chance to say, I'm still here, I still matter, and I'm still worthy of love, even from my own 2 hands. You may be older, you may be a little creaky, but you're still touchable, still lovable, still a body that responds to kindness like a flower responds to sun. Because the truth is, you don't stop needing touch just because you age. You stop getting it because people forget you're still alive. So let's remember together. Let's reclaim bathing as not just a chore, but a blessing. Not just cleansing, but communion. And let your next bath say to your heart what no one else may be saying lately. You are still precious. You are still here. Let me hold you. Part 2. Bathing too much? Darling, you're not a car. Let's start with a simple question. How often are you lathering up, rinsing down, and marching out of the bathroom feeling squeaky clean? Every day? Twice a day? 3 times if your cat sneezed near you? I get it. We grew up on slogans like cleanliness is next to godliness, and we took them seriously. But let me offer a little reframe, sweetheart. Godliness doesn't mean scrubbing yourself like a rusted frying pan. At some point, bathing went from being a simple act of hygiene to a full-blown purification ritual. And while I'm all for spiritual cleansing, let's not confuse sacred self-care with skin abuse, okay? Because here's the kicker. After 70, bathing too often might be aging you faster than gravity and your grandchildren combined. By the time you've crossed into your glorious 70s, your skin has been through a lot. Sunlight, soap, hormonal tempests, and probably a few lovers who didn't deserve to touch it in the first place. Now, your skin is more like antique parchment than a vinyl raincoat. The natural oils, remember those? They've packed up and gone to Florida. Your skin is thinner, drier, more fragile than ever. And here you are, hitting it every day with hot water, floral-scented, industrial-strength soap, and the same scrubbing technique you used on your kitchen tile. That's not self-care. That's exfoliation as warfare. I once knew a woman named Ruth. Fierce spirit, lived alone, bathed twice a day. She said it was the one thing that made her feel alive. Which sounds noble until you realize Ruth also had eczema so bad, her arms looked like the Sahara in a windstorm. When I gently suggested she try bathing less, you'd think I asked her to stop breathing. But how will I feel clean? She asked. And I said, darling, maybe it's not about feeling clean, maybe it's about feeling cared for. She blinked, and then she said, well, that's annoyingly profound. Let's talk numbers. Dermatologists, those wise folks who study skin instead of politics, say that most women over 70 only need to bathe 2 to 3 times a week. That's it. Not 7, not 14, and definitely not every time the spirit moves me. On the other days, a light wash of the essentials, armpits, lady parts, feet, is plenty. This isn't laziness. This is enlightened efficiency. You're not giving up your dignity. You're giving up soap addiction. Now, if I may channel my inner monk for a moment, in Buddhism, water is sacred. It's used to cleanse, to bless, to reflect, but never, never to punish. There's this idea called non-harming. We usually apply it to others. Don't hit your brother, don't swat the fly, don't yell at the TV. But ahimsa starts at home, literally on your skin. You can practice ahimsa every time you reach for a soft towel, instead of that old scratchy one you've had since Nixon. Every time you whisper, thank you body, instead of, what happened to my elbows? So here's your invitation. Next time you stand in front of the mirror, towel around your waist, soap in hand, pause. Ask yourself, am I bathing because I need it, or because I'm trying to control something I can't? Am I respecting this beautiful time-worn body, or just following a script that no longer serves me? Because here's the truth, my friend. You are not dirty. You are divine. And divine things don't need scrubbing. They need reverence. Part 3. Your skin's not a war zone. Stop evicting the good guys. Let's start with something wild. Did you know that bathing too often, yes, the same habit you thought was keeping you fresh, might actually be making you more likely to get sick? Now I know what you're thinking, but I'm washing away germs. Yes, and you're also washing away your body's frontline defense, your tiny microscopic best friends, and the natural oils that kept you soft and safe since the Eisenhower era. Let me explain. You see, your skin isn't just a thing that holds you in. It's a whole ecosystem. A living, breathing, 24-hour monk-like gatekeeper that keeps the invaders out and the good stuff in. It has oil glands that act like security guards, a pH balance more finely tuned than a Buddhist bell, and billions, yes, billions of microscopic roommates. Good bacteria, helpful fungi, the invisible Peace Corps of your body. Together, This crew is called the microbiome, and like any good neighborhood, they keep things chill. They don't ask for much, just a bit of moisture, no chemical warfare, and for you to not go nuclear with antibacterial soap every day. But when you bathe too often, especially with hot water and fancy-sounding soaps that smell like an artificial lavender forest, you wipe out the whole village. You're not cleaning anymore, you're colonizing. There's a woman I once met named Shirley. She was in her late 70s and took pride in her daily full-body refresh. Every morning, every night, scrubbed with antibacterial soap, loofah, the works. Smelled like a lavender grenade went off in a pine forest. But her skin? Dry, cracked, itchy. She kept getting strange rashes between her toes and was baffled why she was always uncomfortable. Her doctor said she might need special creams. I gently said, maybe try doing less? She paused, then whispered like it was a confession. I think I've been showering the joy out of my skin. Bingo. You don't need more soap. You need more self-forgiveness. Here's the thing. When you overbathe, you strip away not just the dirt, but the oils and the bacteria that were keeping your skin from falling into chaos. Without them, your body becomes like an unlocked house in a bad neighborhood. Fungal infections move in. Candida throws a party. Tiny cuts take forever to heal. Suddenly, you've got itches in places that don't get a lot of sunlight. And please, for the love of all that is holy, don't reach for antibacterial soap. That stuff is like carpet bombing your skin. It kills everything, good, bad, neutral. Then the bad guys return stronger, and the good ones are too traumatized to come back. It's not cleanliness, it's chemical warfare. And yes, some of these soaps contain triclosan, which might contribute to antibiotic resistance. You thought you were just being extra clean. Turns out you might be starting the microscopic version of World War III on your thighs. There's a lovely teaching in Buddhism called the middle way. It means don't go to extremes. Don't deny your body, but don't overwhelm it either. It's the same for bathing. You don't need to douse yourself in boiling water and scrub until you squeak. Nor do you need to let yourself go. There's a sweet spot. Just like life, your skin thrives in balance. Trust that your body knows what it's doing. It's been doing it for decades, hasn't it? Sometimes the best way to take care of yourself is to do less. Sit down, light a candle, gently wipe your underarms, whisper thank you to your belly, then move on. You're not dirty, you're sacred. And sacred things don't need disinfecting. They need reverence. Part 4. Your feet deserve a love song, not just a quick rinse. Let's be honest. We fuss over our faces, we moisturize our necks, we might even dab a little anti-aging serum behind our ears just in case the grandkids are checking. But our feet, those faithful, long-suffering souls, they get a quick rinse, a towel swipe, and maybe a muttered ugh if they ache. I'm here to tell you, with all the love in the world, stop ignoring your feet. They've carried you through decades, through heartbreaks and honeymoons, funerals and grocery store lines, silent retreats, and sassy dance floors. They've earned your devotion. And now, in your 70s and beyond, they need it more than ever. Let me introduce you to a woman I once met at a senior center in New Mexico. Her name was Dorothy, and she was a goddess in orthopedic sandals. She said, I used to wear heels every Sunday. Now my bunions have their own zip code. Dorothy had started having mysterious foot pain, cracked heels, red spots, and the occasional aromatic situation she blamed on her cat. But it wasn't the cat. It was years of forgetting that feet are living things, not just shoe holders. You see, after 70, your circulation slows down, especially to your extremities. Your feet heal slower, get colder, and become more vulnerable to infections. And when you ignore them, or worse, stuff them into the same pair of socks for 4 days straight, they begin to protest. Sometimes with a rash, sometimes with a quiet ache, sometimes with a toe rebellion that ends in a podiatrist's office. Let's get specific. Fungal infections like athlete's foot love warm, damp crevices, especially between toes that don't get properly dried. Cracked heels can split open like little tectonic plates, becoming painful and inviting infection. Ingrown toenails are like spiritual tests wrapped in keratin, especially when you cut too deep or forget the straight across rule. If you have diabetes, poor circulation, or numbness in the feet, neglect can become downright dangerous. One small sore could spiral into something serious. We're not talking vanity. We're talking mobility, safety, and independence. And don't get me started on balance. Feet that hurt or feel unstable can mess with your confidence and increase your fall risk. And no, you don't get spiritual brownie points for being stoic about it. Ram Dass once said, "Be here now. And honey, if your feet hurt, you will definitely be here. Right here, in the pain, every step." So what do? We slow down. We make a ritual out of what used to be routine. Start with a gentle wash every day, even if you're skipping the shower. A little basin, warm water, soft cloth. Maybe even hum a mantra if you're feeling fancy. Dry them well, really well, between each toe like you're drying antique glass. Then moisturize heels, soles, tops of feet, but skip between the toes. Moisture there is fungus's favorite snack. Clip those toenails regularly, straight across. If your eyesight's fading or you're not as bendy as you used to be, let someone help you. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. And check your feet, look at them. Not with judgment, but with gratitude. That bunion, a sign of everywhere you've walked. That little scar, a love story. That blue vein, a roadmap of your becoming. In many spiritual traditions, the feet are sacred. In India, people touch the feet of elders as a sign of reverence. In Buddhism, monks walk barefoot as a practice of humility. In Christianity, feet were washed as an act of devotion. Maybe it's time we followed suit. Next time you reach for your moisturizer, pause. Let your feet know you haven't forgotten them. Whisper a little thank you. They've been your loyal companions. They still are. And remember, you're not just walking, you're arriving. Part 5. Your shower isn't broken, but your water might be a little judgmental. Let me paint you a picture. You just finished your bath, you moisturized, you used the good lotion, maybe you even lit a candle and hummed a chant while you did it. And yet, your skin still feels like it spent the afternoon in the Mojave Desert. In your hair? Once your crowning glory, now it's looking like it got into an argument with a hay bale. Before you curse your shampoo, your hormones, or the full moon in retrograde, consider this. It might be your water. Yes, water. That sacred element we've bathed in, prayed over, and washed our sins away with. Turns out, it's not always as innocent as it looks. Most tap water in cities and suburbs isn't just H2O. It comes packed with minerals like calcium, magnesium, and iron. It's called hard water, and it doesn't just clink around your pipes. It clings to your skin and hair like an ex who just won't take the hint. Hard water doesn't rinse clean. It leaves a little film, a ghost of itself. And that film, it's like a tiny mineral net, grabbing onto your moisturizer and saying, "Not so fast, lady. Your lotion can't absorb. Your hair products won't sink in. Instead of nourishment, you get buildup. And instead of glow, you get dryness, flakiness, and the kind of frizz that makes your reflection look like it's in witness protection." A dear friend of mine, Agnes, 81, full of sass, told me she'd been blaming her new shampoo for weeks. "I used the one with avocado oil and angel tears," she said, "and my hair still looked like a broom." When I asked her if she had hard water, she said, "No, just regular water from the kitchen sink." I smiled gently and said, "Sometimes the betrayal comes from inside the house." We popped a water testing strip under her faucet. It turned a tragic shade of purple. The universal color for your water is sabotaging your self-esteem. We installed a shower filter. Within a week, she was glowing like a Himalayan sunrise. Hair soft, skin calm, confidence through the roof. She looked at me and said, "I should have done this before I changed shampoos, husbands, and religions." In the spiritual world, we often talk about letting go, releasing attachments, dropping the ego, surrendering to the moment. Well, I say your skin is trying to let go too, but hard water won't let it. You can meditate all you want, but if your water is clinging to your face like mineral Velcro, you're going to feel itchy, irritable, and a little betrayed by the universe. So here's the Ramdas solution. Install a simple shower filter. They're cheap, easy to find, and they screw right onto your shower head like a little miracle. Switch to a gentle, pH-balanced body wash. Bar soap and hard water are like two toxic relatives. You don't want them interacting at the same event. Moisturize while damp. Within 3 minutes of getting out of the bath, lock it in before the hard water film can crash the party. Try a weekly clarifying shampoo. It removes the buildup without judging your life choices. And above all, don't blame your body. Your body's not the problem. It's the innocent victim in a long con orchestrated by calcium deposits and bad plumbing. So many women I know look in the mirror and sigh. What happened to me, they ask. What happened? Life, minerals, time, and maybe too much trust in your local water department. But none of that means you're broken. It just means it's time to adjust. And isn't that the whole point of aging with grace? Not clinging, not resisting, but noticing, laughing, adapting. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is put in a $30 water filter and let your skin exhale. Because let's be honest, darling, your glow didn't go away, it just got a little buried under limestone. Part 6, the bath as a mirror, what your habits say about your soul. Let me float a curious little idea your way. The way you bathe is the way you live. Yep, I said it. If you jump into the shower like it's a pit stop at the Indy 500, scrubbing like you're trying to erase your past lives, what else in your life do you rush? And if you let the water trickle while you daydream, singing old Beatles songs into your loofah, well, maybe that's how you approach life too. Floating along, always a verse behind. Your bath, my dear, is not just a cleaning station, it's a mirror. It reflects how you treat your body, how you respond to time, and, if you listen closely, how you see yourself. There's a woman I knew, Maureen, 76, sharp as a tack, but gentle as pudding. She once told me she'd been taking cold, fast showers for years, not because she liked them, but because somewhere deep down, she didn't think she deserved to take her time. I felt like I'd become invisible, she said. Like I didn't matter enough to stand there and be warm. That one sentence held lifetimes of truth. Because how many of us, especially in our older years, begin to believe we're no longer worthy of tenderness? That slowing down is indulgent? That pleasure is for the younger, the prettier, the still in their prime? Let me say this clearly. You are still here. You still matter. And you still deserve a long, luxurious soak in your own sacred presence. Behavioral psychology tells us that our habits are shaped by our self-concept. So if you see yourself as someone who is still becoming, still blossoming, still worthy of delight, you'll care for yourself accordingly. But if you think of yourself as just old, past your peak, or a burden, well, your habits will reflect that too. That's not judgment, that's reality. We live out the stories we tell ourselves. Even in the bath. In Zen practice, everything is an opportunity for awakening. Sweeping the floor, drinking tea, even scrubbing behind your ears. There's no spiritual moment waiting to show up in a monastery or a mountaintop. The bath is the monastery. The way you treat your knees as you wash them, that's dharma. The way you dry your face, that's meditation. The way you step out of the tub slowly, like you're arriving in your body for the first time all over again, that's enlightenment with a side of Epsom salts. Next time you bathe, ask yourself, am I rushing or resting? Am I punishing this body or praising it? Am I showing up for myself or just going through the motions? And then, shift. Just a little. Stay in the warm water 2 minutes longer. Breathe slower. Smile at your own reflection. Moisturize your elbows like they're ancient scrolls holding forgotten wisdom. Because they are. Because you are. The bath doesn't lie. It shows you whether you're caring or coping, whether you're treating yourself like a burden or a blessing. And the good news? You can change your story, one bath at a time. So go ahead, let the steam rise like incense. Let the water hold you like the universe has been waiting all day for your return. Because maybe, just maybe, it has. Part 7, Down There Deserves Devotion Too. Yes, we're going there. Okay, friend, deep breath. We're about to go down there. You know, that part of the body that people whisper about in waiting rooms and avoid entirely in polite dinner conversation. But let's be real, your private parts aren't a secret to you or to God or to your doctor. So why are we pretending they don't exist? If you're over 70, chances are you've noticed some changes in the southern hemisphere. And no, you're not broken, you're evolving. Like a good wine, a wise tree, or that one friend who stopped dyeing her hair and became an icon. It's just that this area now requires, let's say, a more refined approach. Let's start with biology. After menopause, your estrogen levels drop. That beautiful hormone that once kept things plush, springy, and self-lubricated, she's packed her bags and moved on. What's left behind isn't barren, it's just different. The tissue is thinner now, drier, more sensitive, more prone to irritation if you use the same products you used in 1983 when disco was still echoing through your bath tiles. Some women feel itchy, others feel raw. Some avoid sitting for long periods because things are just too tender, and yet very few people talk about it. Why? Because we were told to just deal with it. Because ladylike didn't include vulva care. Well, I say hogwash. Let's talk about what not to do. Do not, I repeat, do not scrub your private parts like you're trying to clean a cast iron skillet. That floral body wash with sparkles, that bar soap with 10 syllables of ingredients, the bottle that says antibacterial in bold, put it down. All of it. These products strip away the good bacteria, the little helpers that keep your vaginal ecosystem balanced, harmonious, and free of invaders. It's like inviting a SWAT team into a peaceful village. Suddenly there's chaos, imbalance, and nobody sleeping through the night. And please, please, no douching. That's not cleansing. That's colonizing. That's launching a full-on assault on an organ that already knows how to clean itself. So what's the Ram Dass approach to vulva care? It starts with reverence. That part of your body has seen some things. It has loved, birthed, bled, grieved, healed. It holds memory, pleasure, sorrow, power. It is not shameful. It is sacred. Here's how to honor it. Use only warm water, and maybe a drop of fragrance-free hypoallergenic cleanser if you really feel the need. No loofahs, sponges, or rough washcloths. Your hands are your softest tool. Pat dry gently with a clean towel, no rubbing like you're drying off the dog. Avoid tight synthetic underwear. Let her breathe. Cotton is queen. And if you experience ongoing dryness or discomfort, talk to your doctor. There are kind, compassionate solutions out there. You don't have to suffer in silence or settle for less. In some Eastern traditions, the body is seen as a temple. And what do you do in a temple? You don't storm in with boots and bleach. You enter quietly, you light a candle, you listen. The same goes for your intimate care. Approach with softness, with gratitude, with humor even. Laughing at the changes is not disrespect, it's liberation. One older woman once told me, I never thought I'd have to learn how to take care of my lady bits at 75. I said, well, think of it as a second adolescence. Only this time, you're wise enough to enjoy it. She laughed and said, at least I don't have to worry about surprise periods anymore. Amen to that. So here's the final truth, dear soul. The more we hide, the more we hurt. The more we honor, the more we heal. Your private parts aren't private to you. They are part of your wholeness, and they deserve every bit of love and attention you give to your face, your feet, your soul. Take care. Not with shame, but with a sense of sacred humor. Because after all, even enlightenment needs proper hygiene. Part 8. The bath is not supposed to be a cardio workout. Let's talk about your heart. No, not your metaphorical heart. The one that breaks during sad movies and swells when your grandchild says you're their best friend. I mean your actual heart. The organ. The magnificent, time-tested drum-keeping rhythm beneath your ribs, humming quietly like the world's most loyal companion. Now here's something they don't always tell you in those wellness brochures. The way you bathe can affect your heart. Not just your mood, not just your glow, your literal cardiovascular function. I know, seems dramatic. I mean, it's just water, right? But water, my dear, is never just water. When you step into a hot bath or shower, really hot, the kind where the mirrors fog up faster than your memory at 3 a.m., your body responds. Your blood vessels expand to cool you down. That's called vasodilation, but don't worry, there's no quiz. What matters is that this process causes a sudden drop in blood pressure. And that's fine when you're 25 and built like a mountain goat. But when you're 75, with a heart that's been through wars, weddings, and a few decades of late-night snacks, that drop can feel like a ship losing its anchor. You might get dizzy, lightheaded, disoriented. You might feel like the floor is suddenly doing interpretive dance beneath your feet. And let's not forget, you're standing in a slippery cube of porcelain death, surrounded by tile and gravity. It's a setup, is what it is. Now, I'm not saying give up bathing. I'm not saying become one with the dust. I'm saying do it like a sage, like a queen, like someone who knows the body is a temple and doesn't want to flood the temple's basement. Here's how. Keep the water warm, not hot. If your skin turns red or you start humming whale songs involuntarily, it's too hot. Limit your soak to 10 to 15 minutes. Long enough to unwind. Short enough to stay conscious. Rise slowly. This isn't a fire drill. Use a grab bar. Sit down if you need to. No one gets a trophy for standing up too fast and scaring the cat. Avoid ice-cold rinses. I know some people swear by the cold shock trend, but unless you're training to be a monk in the Himalayas, leave it to the TikTok kids. Cold water constricts your blood vessels and can spike your blood pressure. Not cute. Listen to your body. If you feel woozy, strange, or like your guardian angel just raised an eyebrow, get out, sit down, breathe. You're not weak, you're wise. Here's a hard truth wrapped in a soft towel. Most falls for older adults happen in the bathroom, not on icy sidewalks, not during interpretive dance classes, in the bathroom. Why? Because water, heat, and slippery surfaces turn your shower into a spiritual obstacle course. One moment you're lathering up, the next you're calling your niece from the floor, trying to remember where you put your dignity. Let's avoid that. Put a non-slip mat in the tub. Add a shower chair, and for heaven's sake, install a grab bar. That's not surrender, that's strategy. In spiritual circles, we talk a lot about opening the heart, being vulnerable, loving more. But let's not forget the literal heart, the one that's been with you longer than any friend, therapist, or ex-husband. It's been quietly beating through heartbreak and healing, through joy and jello. Your job isn't to test it. Your job is to love it back. So when you step into the bath, let it be a prayer. Let it be gentle. Let it be holy. Warm water, kind thoughts, slow movements. Because when your heart feels safe, it whispers back, "Thank you, let's keep going." Part 9. The bathtub as a portal to the divine, or at least a good night's sleep. Let's talk about sleep, or rather, the mysterious absence of it. Because if you're anything like most women over 70, bedtime has become less of a gentle descent into dreamland and more of a staring contest with the ceiling fan. You've tried chamomile, you've tried prayer, you've tried counting sheep, grandchildren, and mistakes. Still, you find yourself wide awake at 2:37 a.m., wondering if you left the stove on in 1987. Now, I'm not going to throw another supplement at you or tell you to do goat yoga under the full moon. What I'm going to suggest is shockingly simple, wildly effective, and blissfully familiar. Take a warm bath before bed. Not hot, not scalding, not boil the sins away hot. Warm, like a hug from the universe. You see, your body is a mystical machine. Every evening, it cools itself down just a touch to signal that it's time to hit the sacred snooze button. But as we age, that natural cooling rhythm can go a little off-script, like a drum circle with no leader. Enter the bath. When you soak in warm water around 98 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, you gently raise your core temperature. Then, when you step out, your body cools down quickly, mimicking that natural nighttime signal. And guess what happens? Your brain gets the message. It whispers, "Ah, it's time." Cue the melatonin. Cue the heavy eyelids. Cue the dreams where you finally tell your neighbor what you really think of her hydrangeas. One woman I knew, Betty, 82, insomniac, part-time poet, told me she hadn't slept through the night since the Clinton administration. She'd tried everything short of witchcraft. One night, I suggested a warm bath, 1 to 2 hours before bed. I told her, "Don't multitask. Don't scrub grout. Just soak. Breathe. Be." She rolled her eyes. "I've bathed before, darling." I said, "Not like this." "You haven't." She tried it. Lavender oil in the water, candles flickering like tiny shamans, classical music softly playing. She called me the next morning and said, "I woke up in the same position I fell asleep in. I think I left my body for a bit." Victory. This isn't just hygiene, love, this is ceremony. The bath becomes a temple. The water becomes your high priestess. And you? You become the sacred being who is finally ready to release the day. Here's how to make it magic. Do it 1 to 2 hours before bed. Too close and your body won't cool down in time. Too early and you're just another clean person watching reruns. Keep it warm, not hot. Hot water stimulates the body, warm water soothes it. You want sleep, not salsa dancing. Apps of lavender or chamomile oil. Science says it relaxes your nervous system. Spirit says it reminds you you're safe. Keep it quiet. No screens, no news. Maybe a gentle playlist, maybe silence. Let the moment be soft, and don't rush. Let your shoulders sink. Let your belly loosen. Let your thoughts float away like soap bubbles that know when to pop. In our youth, we collapsed into sleep. Now sleep is an offering, a practice in trust, a slow-motion fall into the arms of the unknown. The bath helps you prepare for that leap. Not by sedating you, but by reminding you you are safe. You are held. You can let go. Ram Dass once said, "The quieter you become, the more you can hear." Well, darling, if your nights have been noisy with tossing, turning, and unspoken worries, maybe it's time to quiet down in the tub and finally hear the sweet lullaby of your own nervous system saying, "You're okay. You're tired. It's time to rest." Outrow. So there we have it, my friend. We've journeyed through skin and spirit, heart and hygiene, and even tiptoed into the sacred space no one dares to name, but every woman over 70 deserves to honor. From letting go of daily scrubbing, to reclaiming touch as a form of healing, to giving down there the respect of a gentle hand and a kinder soap. You've learned that bathing isn't just about being clean. It's about being present, tender, and fully at home in your body. Right here, right now. And if one little moment from today's video made you pause, smile, or rethink your routine, then you've already begun the practice. If you'd like more videos like this, gentle teachings for wise souls, go ahead and click like to let us know this resonated. And if you haven't already, subscribe to help us reach our first 1,000 subscribers. That little act gives this channel the energy to keep flowing. Got a favorite part of the video? Maybe a lesson that surprised you? Or a bathing habit you're ready to bless and release? Drop it in the comments. Your story might be the medicine someone else needs to hear. Until next time, take your time. Use warm water. And remember, you are not aging. You are unfolding.